Hey there everyone and welcome to the Near Monsters Community Tournament. We haven't had a tournament in a very long time, so it's really nice to have a return. This is being hosted by Guess Who's Back from the forum, otherwise known as Sherlock. He's a member of the community who's doing all the special restrictions from the matches and otherwise just organising everything. It's also been endorsed by the developers, so they have rewards for the first place and second place. However, I would say everyone involved, we're just in it for fun. It's not really about the rewards. So the great part of this tournament is making some really interesting PvP videos because we're making very interesting teams. So for starters, in this video I'm just going to explain what makes this tournament special and how we're doing it differently. So there are 16 people in this tournament and we're going through different stages, being knocked out as we go until we get to the final 2 people. The first stage is the group stage, where there's 4 people in each group. They each play each other. Each battle has its own set of special rules, and then that will go on to then the 8 people, the 4 people. So this video covers my matches in the group stage, and over the next few days I'm going to be releasing videos which have been sent to me by other people in their groups, or in my group too actually. I think I have all the videos from all the matches from my group. And we're going to be, they're all going to have just backing music. This video though is where I'm going to be talking a little bit about the tournament and talking over my matches because I prefer live commentary to music. Anyway, so this tournament, what makes it special is every single battle has its own special rules. These rules are very restrictive, and it means that actually it's more about the team building, to be honest, than the matches themselves. Because if you make a team which then just uses the rules really, really well, then often your team will thrash the other team. That's kind of how it goes, but then there's a lot of it involved, and then the actual gameplay is very strategic. You know the game if you're watching this video. So the sets of rules, I'm not going to go through them now. We'll see them as we go through when you watch all the different videos. I have them at the start of each one. But also another thing about this tournament which makes it very special is each of us have to choose a captain and a vice captain. They're 2 monsters, and basically we have to use the captain in every single one of our teams. The only times when we can't use it are when it breaks a rule. So for example, if the rule is we can't use chrono monsters and our captain is a chrono monster, we can't use it. In which case we go to our vice captain instead. So the captain and vice captain have to be kind of different monsters, because otherwise if they both come under the same rule, then we automatically lose the fight. That's the way the rules go. So anyway, I won't really talk about this anymore, but hopefully that's given you an idea of what you can expect from this. The matches themselves are very interesting, and we're going to go through mine now. So this first match I have is up against Lemon Squeezy, and the special rules are no chrono monsters, and for every 6-star or 7-star monster you have to have a 0 to 4-star monster, which means ultimately the teams are very powered down. It's a lot of super epics and epics in there, and you'll see that going on. So anyway, looking at this match to begin with, I do Stun Pulse and Widoworm. It's not really a whole lot of point doing that. It's mainly just because I know my Galsbane is going to die from his Scarlet Guard, so just get that Stun Pulse out there. Might as well. It does a bit more than a Protector Killer might. But anyway, so he's got a lot of stuff that's gonna tear through my team really. He's got the choice of Widoworm here or Galsbane, and anyway he gets that. So I do a Stealth Bane on Widoworm to get rid of that, because my team is all about stun, as you will see. I'll talk a bit more about the team later because there's a lot going on right now. So here I kind of want to exit plan. I'd kind of like to do something, but he's got a lot of killer monsters that are just going to tear through my protectors. There's not a whole lot of point, so I pretty much just skip. And then comes to Dracozoard. Now really annoyingly he took out my other storm monsters, so I can't link Stun Flash. So all I can really do is protect, which isn't ideal because he can now just kill it off. He also managed to stun my Bloomaluga there, so nothing's really going on there. I need to pass a bit more time before exit plan. And now the game gets handed over to him for a while, so he can sweep through my stuff quite nicely. Now, Scarlet Guard could kill Dracozoard here, but I've got a Diamondoid up next, and Scarlet Guard's really good for taking that out. So, best off to really just skip, as he does. He uses a Protector Killer to get rid of that, so now his Galsbane is charged. Spectre Fox annoyingly would love to hit that Bloomaluga with Stealth Bane, but it can't get around the Diamondoid, so nicely placed Protector by me. And I go for the double Bloodthirst. Unfortunately, RNG is not in my favour. I don't kill either Scarlet Guard or Galvbane. They both have really low health, so it is possible to one-shot them. It's quite reliable, but apparently not in this match. So anyway, I now back off. He is now hitting my massive ward of protectors, which I thought would go pretty nicely. However, turns out his team is filled with stuff that can deal with a massive ward of protectors. He must have anticipated that I would have something like this. And yeah, we're not in a good position. He's just tearing through my team, and yeah, I can't really do that much. So I do a Gigaquake here because not really much else I can do. Put Scoutsbane to hold ground. Scarlet Guard somehow survives still, but you know, not too bad. So now I can get rid of his Galvbane. That's the obvious target. The other target, I probably want to get Scarlet Guard with my Delegazar. So I hit Shadow Worm. It's not going to do any damage, but it means that now I can do Swift Chrono Killer on Scarlet Guard and have Delegazar properly charged. So we might get back into this. I've got some sweepers out in the field. Blue Maluga's about to get a turn. He's got to try to hit something with his Bloodthirst, but he doesn't actually. He just goes for the Protector Killer. I'm a little bit surprised by that. I would have thought he should try and kill either Delegazar or Blue Maluga, but he just went for the Protector Killer. Just get rid of that. And now what I'm really going to try and do is open him up to stun, because I've got crazy stun, well, at every point in my team. But yeah, I need to get rid of his stun protection, and he gets another Skythrower in there, which I need to get rid of. But now he can't really kill my monsters. I mean, that Spectre Fox can do some damage, but we should be okay if I can get around that. So I'm thinking maybe I kill the Spectre Fox, but I'm also worried about that Oak Thulu in next. Oak Thulu is an incredibly powerful monster, so I need to get rid of the Skyther. I need to line up a stun for shortly after that, so his Oak Thulu doesn't get a turn. So I do switch friends there, which the main reason of that is because I want to get to Blossomite's Poison Touch, and if I can kill him with that, I can then follow up with a lot of stun after that. So his Rominator still can't get a kill here, can't really do much, which is good for me, but he can get one kill with Spectre Fox. So I'm a little bit worried that he's probably going to kill Nova Drake, because Nova Drake is really important here for the stun wave, and I'm not really sure how this is going to go, but he picks Delegazar, which, to be fair, Delegazar is a sweeper, and he probably doesn't realise I've got loads of stun on the way, so fair enough. And now we're into the stun. So from here, I don't think he gets a single turn. I just managed to chain things together. It's all the nice stun coming together, and he's probably regretting everything big time right now. So he's got a Hellfox next, which is a bit of an annoying monster, but it is weak to stun, so you know, there's that. So I just need to make sure that I can stun it when it comes in. I do a hit all there. Follow up by another Petal Blitz. We're all good. I don't particularly want to kill a monster now, because next in line he has a Protector with Stun Absorb, so I want to avoid bringing that in. So I do a Raw Bloodthirst, and then again, don't kill it. I just skip with Dracarosa so I can do the Stun Bomb. Zeus Worm comes in with a Lightning Entrance, and now I'll kill the Hellfox. Oh no, I actually go for Robinator first. I don't want to lose my Nova Drake, that's the reason. So I don't mind losing my Zeus Worm. I do a time strike double there, get rid of the Hellfox and kill off my Zeus Worm. And we're pretty much sorted, because he's only got one monster behind, and I've got loads of charged sweepers, and you know, I've got even more stun on Blossomite as well, so I just stun out his Protector, get that out of the way, and the game's in the bag. So you probably guessed, my team was all in on stun, and the reason why is because looking at the special rules, it was 0 to 4 star monsters and then some higher star monsters, and I figured, oh, and no chrono monsters, so there's no stun counter, no stun converter. They're the main kind of counters to stun, and so I figured they probably wouldn't have any stun immune monsters. They'd have some stun absorbers, and as long as I can remove those, which I had some pieces to get rid of those, then I could go crazy on stun. So that's what I did, and it did pay off in the end. Probably helped the fact that he didn't get rid of things like Dracarosa, And but yeah, definitely at the beginning it was a bit touch and go. He had stuff that could really decimate my team and take out all my protectors. So my massive line of protectors there, which I thought would work really nicely, it didn't actually do a lot. He also got rid of my Link's stun at the beginning, Link's storm, which I was hoping wouldn't go. So his team was actually quite a nice team. You'll see it in a second, and it's basically a mixture of sweepers and stun protection spaced out, and then there's various stun immune monsters in there as well, or a couple of them, and a lot of protector killing, because there are going to be protectors in there. So anyway, now we're going to move into the second match. So the special rules for this match 2 are no blood moves, and only 2 elements in your team. So it's pretty much linked teams. You can go more heavily into one element than another. You have to use a captain's element, and no blood moves disables a lot of monsters. So it's swaying more towards things like Survivor and Mortar Monsters and that kind of stuff. So it makes very interesting teams, and I wasn't too sure about mine. Mine is Storm and Shadow, so kind of similar to what we had before, I think, maybe. But anyway, let's move into this match. So I'm actually using a one-on-one lineup here. I'm using with Zeus Worm, which I love. I actually have that in my PvE, my favourite PvE team. But unfortunately he's got Scarlagar that's just about to kill my Zeus Worm, so there's no point really stun bomb cursing anything. I just take a few seconds to look at things and work out what's going to be happening. Right, so in this match as well, I want to say beforehand, I made quite a few mistakes, which I sort of talked over and stuff with Ice and Cross after this match, and if you're watching this Ice and Cross, I apologise. It probably sounded like I was, going on about it a bit. It was more like I was reviewing in my head at the time, and normally you make 1 or 2 mistakes, and it's just, I felt like I made, a few more and that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm sorry about that. I didn't want to go into it too much. Now anyway, so Piercing Mortar, if I hit the Hellfox here, that's what I'm thinking about, because I'm currently shielded, so I can take out Hellfox and just take that payback revenge, taking 0 damage. However, he's got the I was going to say Magmarinus, it's not that monster, the Protector that can Purify when it comes in, and I don't particularly want to have to use the instant reload to take out that Protector. So anyway, he doesn't use Survivor to get rid of my shield, so I'm able to do that, which in hindsight he should have hit my Bunker Beast. He probably didn't think of what I was trying to do here. Now anyway, at this point I've miscounted. This skip behind Volcamus gives me, I'm now currently 1 second away from getting double Survivor charged, which I don't realise. So at this point I could skip behind Apolorexes and have double Survivor, but I don't. I shield. And that is probably the most critical mistake that I make in this match. It's an unfortunate one, and I realised my mistake immediately because he used Survivor, and I was like, oh no, they're all about to wake up. But anyway, going into this, he's it's still not gone any particular way at this point. He's managed to get rid of my Lunatic, unfortunately, very quickly, and in fact, by very cleverly using Reckless Attack. It's very rare I see this from someone, using Reckless Attack and killing off the Bronze Shell because stun comes in. Very good use of it there. So I hit Magmarinus for obvious reasons here, because I'm about to use Link Stun Flash, and I really want to get rid of that Magmarinus because my Bunker Beast has a kill. He's going to use the dual Slayer Bane, so I want to get rid of that, and while I'm at it, I'll get Apolorex's health down. With Dual Dragon, there's not a whole lot I can do here because I've got to protect it, so all I can do is Kinslayer or Unwanted Friend. I decide probably best to just skip 30 seconds and see what's going on. Losing 30 seconds on Dual Dragon isn't going to lose too much. Go straight in with a Hellfire Mortar, and it actually kills Scarlaguard. I was not prepared for that. I did not want to bring in 3 monsters here, and now I'm panicking like crazy because I can't even use Dual Dragon's moves and stuff because there's now a gravity field, which is not ideal at all. So anyway, he's probably pretty happy now. He's back in a bit of control. He's got his Nova Drake to start going to town with the Stun Wave and Assisted Dusk and all that bad stuff. So here I could use the Assisted Thunder to hit them all, get Jingle Dragon off the dual Confident Strike, but instead I try and line up this Fast Strike on Skelevarthin because I really need to get rid of that. So I do 2 Stun Killers to pass a bit of time so I can line up that Fast Strike. That's the plan there, and he gets a bit of time to do some Assisted Dusks, Unfortunately, this also removes too much health from Tigeron that he can one-shot it there. So, well, sorry, one-shot, I mean kill it off. Now, unfortunately, because Skelevarthan's here and it's got Gravity Field, I can't actually do anything with my Wind Rider until something dies. It's just a useless monster. I was really looking forward to using that because I haven't used it in a team yet, but this was just a terrible time. So anyway, he's just spamming his Assisted Dusk. He's getting in there doing a bit of stuff. I just have to Ultra Thunder with Wind Rider or Giga Thunder or whatever that was. He's getting rid of my sweepers here. Well, I say sweepers. One of them is a protector, but he's leaving me with both the super epics that are useless, which is a very good situation for him to be in. Now the Penguinator comes in. He doesn't actually have to worry about it because he's got an accelerated Nova Drake that is just ideal, absolutely ideal, because he can now hit twice. And in between he can do that dual confidence strike on Penguinator. So even though I've got a protector to try and protect my Penguinator, he can still kill it very nicely. So he takes out my Penguinator. And now I'm starting to get to my Shadow in my team. We have my Static Sphere that I thought it'd be a lot of fun to use Static Sphere and other such monsters in my team. I've got Tenebrae later on, which I don't think I've ever used Tenebrae in PvP before, so I thought I'd have some fun with that. So now I accelerate my Nova Drake because I realise if I'm going to win this match, the only way I can do it is with Nova Drake. So usual kind of Overwatch stuff here. I use the stun wave. Everything's weak to stun, so that's great. I can now finally kill off his Skelevarthan, get that darn monster that I hate out the field, and then I can try to get Nova Drake down a bit. So I can do a second Blood Clone here. I'm getting quite a few Static Spheres, which is very nice, and managed to get that Nova Drake down to whole ground. And now I'm going to have to slow it down here for you to show exactly what happens, because this is kind of nuts. What happens is Nox Dragon hits my team, he kills the Static Sphere, and then while hitting my team, he also puts Nova Drake to whole ground. Now my Static Sphere does its its revenge, explosive revenge, that's it, which then hits his team. It kills off his Nova Drake. It also kills his Drakion, which triggers the death revenge from Drakion that then hits my Nova Drake. And so my Nova Drake's just been hit to whole ground. The death revenge then puts it to death, which is incredibly annoying because I needed that Nova Drake to get a turn. And in fact, if you see where things are going now, I've got Bitter Beast with a turn, and it could have done Life Flip Friend on Nova Drake and kept it alive, but I can't. So yeah, that was a pretty crucial part of the match, which went with RNG not in my favour at all. If that Nova Drake had stayed alive, maybe I would have been in the game. I don't know in hindsight. I actually only noticed it when watching back the clip to make this video. Because at the time, you know, you can't really follow what's going on there. You have to really slow down the footage. So anyway, I'm right at the end of my team. He's got a Night Lord coming in next, which isn't too bad for me actually, because I have Bitter Beast on the field. So I choose to bring that in straight away. I'm able to Shadow Double, and the general idea here is to make lots of Shadow Doubles with Tenebrae, and then be able to do the sneak attacking with the Flutter Drake as well. I've also got the Protector Flutter Drake, which can do the cloning, and hopefully, you know, just a lot of cloning shenanigans that's a problem. I thought I'd have some fun with that. So he gets off a team turn. His monsters can, you know, do some annoying things. That Time Strike was not good for me at all. Wiping out my team is not what I want. I've now only got 3 monsters, and yeah. So anyway, I got to hit the Tortogeist, and luckily though, his Galio Dragon is massively countered by my Tenebrae, because every move on Galio Dragon hits multiple monsters. So actually the Galio Dragon is not a problem for me, because I can keep cloning. Now at this point here, I can give turn to the number 4 Tenebrae to do a clone, or I can give turn to the number 2 to get a kill. I decide to get a kill. This is where I kind of make another mistake, because what I really should kill here is Night Lord. However, for some reason I identify Galio Dragon as a problem, when Galio Dragon is not a problem at all. But anyway, that was a big mistake from me. I completely forget that Night Lord can send back, which is a huge issue, because now when it comes in it's going to stun my team, and I haven't got any counter to stun right now. So yeah, again, I really should have killed that Night Lord. But anyway, Moving on with the match. So I now need to take out Gallia Dragon really because it's on 1 HP. It's got the Swift Effort double and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so looking here, trying to decide what to kill. I need to kill one of the single target hitting monsters really. So Alpha Gear is the good choice there. And then I go to clone and oh whoops! That number 3 Tenebrae that I just used a turn with and did sneak attack. Oh, that was the one to clone. So I messed up and I give up at this point. I just used a hit all. But anyway, that's why I said this match is riddled with mistakes, because to be honest, there were quite a few. But yeah, he went through. He did make a couple of mistakes himself. I mean, it's all part of the game, and he had a great win against me. That's the only reason why I was complaining to him afterwards, is because they were so blindingly obvious to me at the time I played, like straight after I used them. But anyway, so we're going to take a look at the teams now, and you've seen all of my team because I had a wonderful loss. At the start with a 1-on-1, and then going into some more interesting monsters and cloning stuff at the end. His team was a lovely creation of, I'm trying to remember it now because we're not looking at it on the screen. But he had the first half all fire, and then the second half all shadow, and we saw it in action there. It was nicely put together and working very well. He had some RNG stuff go against him for sure, and yeah, he played the match very well. So fair win to him. So we're actually going to see the team now. I should have checked the team just before doing this, but wanted to do one take. Okay, yeah. So he's got some killer stuff at the front. Some protection, stun absorb. Well, sorry, not stun absorb. Yeah, stun protection in the middle, and then going into some lovely shadow monsters there towards the end. Anyway, moving into the third match. The rules for the third match are no stun and no protectors. So you can use monsters with stun or protect, but you just can't use those moves. The passives, any monsters with passives, obviously you can't use those. So anyway, what this is really tending towards in my mind is poison. So I'm anticipating that Ragnus is going to create a poison team, and I've made a very heavy counter to poison, as well as some of my own poison stuff in there, because poison does work well. So we're going to jump straight into this match. There's no point talking any more about that. Now, right at the start here, I've got a lovely setup with Dracorosa using Purify Mist straight into the Link sneak attack all of Zulong, and looking at his Bane Dragon coming in next, this is perfect for me to use instant Overwatch, accelerate my Nova Drake, and then I can just skip with Nova Drake, so it's going to get a turn incredibly fast when the next monsters come in, as well as Nox Dragon getting a turn, so I can spam those assisted alls really nicely. So I go straight up and I go, yep, I'm going to do this Link sneak attack all. I don't care what 4 monsters I bring in, I'm going to take them down. So we then get a turn with Nova Drake, shortly followed up by Nox Dragon. Looking at the damage being dealt, sure enough, he did have a really heavy poison team. He actually had a lovely poison team, but it was just the fact that mine really countered it, that it's almost a really big shame. So anyway, I can't kill his Lavaronics here, but I'm like, sure, you take a team turn. And then, oh no, he's got a Mechaviathan that came in. I felt bad for him here, but I did laugh out loud. The fact that he can't now team turn, because his other team turns there. So anyway, he's got the choice to give turn to Motor Dragon to double repulse, or to give it to Makatsuo and get 2 kills, and sure enough he does that. The 2 obvious choices here I would say are Nova Drake and Dracorosa, but I think he actually chooses, yep he does, he chooses to do Dracorosa and Nox Dragon. I'm not sure exactly why I went for Nox Dragon, but anyway that's it. So this match we are allowed to use blood moves, so I take down his Mechaviathan. He's got the Jasik in there, and I think, okay, I probably need to take down I think the Lavaronics I'm going to go for here. But, because I'd rather... Oh no, I do go for the Dasikian. Yeah, I need to take down the Dasikian. I think it's... I looked at my team and I was like, do I have any auto poison coming? And I was like, not really. Okay, we're going to go for the Dasikian. I want to get it down below its confidence strike level. I don't think I've really done it. But, yeah, anyway. So I figure he's going to kill my Nova Drake here. And actually maybe he was below the 70%, so he didn't want a confidence strike there. But either way, he did the leech on my Nova Drake, so it's still alive. We've still got sweeping power here. So I'm going to take down the Dasikian, and annoyingly I kind of need to use these bronze shells to hit it. I figure I've probably got the game in the bag anyway, so while it's normally the best case to just kill off your bronze shells, and I would always kind of advocate that, in this case I decided actually I'll just use mini flame. So he gets rid of my Nova Drake. His Mangatsuro doesn't actually have any targets here, so he decides to get rid of the stealth of my Zulong, and then Scarlet Guard doesn't have any targets either, so he just grabs a quick kill on that, killing my bronze shell. So it's actually not too bad that I left my bronze shell. Unfortunately for him as well, things line up really nicely for me to take out Mangatsuro, and then to just Swift Chrono kill a Penguinator as soon as it enters. He's now on his last 4 monsters, and he needs kills desperately on Scarlet Guard, but unfortunately didn't quite kill the Shade Swan. I didn't actually notice that at the time. That's really unfortunate. It doesn't quite kill Shade Swan. Surprising that it's so tanky because it's just a 1-star monster. Anyway, I'm putting Goemore down below the confidence strike level here with multiple hits on him, bringing out stuff, or getting rid of the terrible stuff on my team by using Heal All here. So it's a good move for that. I haven't put a Heal All monster in my team for a very long time actually. So then we hit Goemore and put it down below the what do you call it, 70% mark. I can't do Link anymore, so I just hit all. And then now I'm thinking, okay, the Willow Worm's a bit annoying to deal with, especially because of that camouflage basically. So I'm gonna curse that to get rid of that, and I now don't need to do anything about it. It's gonna die off. I can double repulse the things that can be repulsed. And then at this point, I kind of want him to force Motor Dragon into using Bloodthirst or something. He instead decides to get rid of my team turn. I don't know why he's doing so much knockback next with Motor Dragon. I think it's just because he figured if he was going to win at all, he needed to get rid of that team turn, because that was just guaranteed loss if that came in. So anyway, here I can do the dual Poison Siphon to clear out those 2 monsters. Willow Worm dies off, and now he's just left with 2 monsters. So I try and kill those off, spamming some hit tools. Here I'm like, well, Poison Massacre's not going to do anything, so I'll just use Protect. And that was a massive mistake. So this match actually should have been won by Ragnus, because I used that Protect there. However, Ragnus was very kind, and he understood it was clearly a very silly mistake. I didn't look up the rules before we did this match, and I couldn't remember what they were the whole time. I was actually very scared out using blood moves, because I thought, wait a second, are blood moves allowed? And yeah, so technically he won because I used Protect, but thankfully he gave the win to me. So anyway, this is a little look at my team. At the back here we had some Link Water poison stuff going on, and just generally the second half of the team was poison. The first half was sort of countering poison, and luckily it was exactly what I needed for the fight. Ragnus's team was poison throughout, very heavily in poison, and it's very unfortunate too about the 2 team turns, which, because of my heavy sweeping, I managed to bring both in at once. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. The other videos will not be this long, they're just single matches in each video. And yeah, I haven't really got anything more to add. This is Ragnus's team. Have a little browse if you want. Thanks very much for watching, I'll see you in the next round.